minute. From energy, let's talk, maritime issues. 2 years after the mysterious disappearance of 29-year-old Ghanaian fishing observer Emmanuel Essien, police say investigations remain inconclusive. Acting Director of Maritime Service Division, Nana Kwabena Boakye-Boampong, gave this update at a media briefing in Accra. My colleague Faustina Safo sat through the briefing and our reports.
Essien, an employee of the Fisheries Commission, was assigned aboard a Chinese vessel on the 5th of July 2019. The Magazine 15 had set sail for operations from the Tema Fishing Harbour with a 26-member crew made up of 20 Chinese nationals and 6 Ghanaians, including Essien. But at about 7 p.m. on that fateful day, crew members said while operating on Apam waters, they detected that Essien was not on board, forcing the crew to suspend fishing operations in search of him. To date, the search continues as Emmanuel Essien is still missing. Briefing the media on progress reports so far, Acting Director of the Ghana Maritime Service Division, Nana Kwabena Boakye-Boampong, says the authority hands are tied as police investigations 2 years on remains inconclusive.
Emmanuel Essien, who was deployed aboard a fishing vessel by the Fisheries Commission as an observer, we have had engagements with the family. What happens under Ghanaian law is that to declare somebody dead, you should produce the corpse of the person. Currently, the corpse of Mr. Essien are not available. Investigations are inconclusive, and so we have not been able to pronounce him dead. But subsequently, we have had engagements with the Fisheries Commission about how to deploy these observers going forward, but we are still in contact with the family.
In a bid to curb maritime crimes and ward off pirates at sea, the Ghana Martime Authority says it is stepping up surveillance to protect inland shores. It comes as piracy activities, mainly dominant in the Gulf of Guinea, continue to spread, with Ghana at risk of an invasion. Director General Thomas Kofi Alonsi says they have so far acquired 9 patrol boats from 2018 to date to help security officials do their job.
Piracy has become a topical issue within that sub-region. The Gulf of Guinea has earned an unenviable reputation of being a hotspot for piracy. And I'm sure you have also heard of some piracy activities that border on our own territorial waters that involve some fishing vessels. Now, to deal with this menace, the authority, together with other coastal states, have come together trying to find ways and means of curtailing the incidence of piracy within our territorial waters. One of the measures that have been put in place is the ECOWAS Maritime Security Architecture Stakeholders Meeting. We took place just about a few months ago in Cotonou. It was chaired by one of our own here from the Ghana Maritime Authority. Besides that, we have also put in place measures to ensure that the maritime domain is secure, safe, and free from marine source pollution, while ensuring an environment that promotes growth for national economic development.
The authority is also pushing for the amendment of Section 193 and 194 of the country's piracy laws to give the authority powers to prosecute pirates apprehended within Ghanaian territorial waters.
We have realized that our laws, as they sit on the statute books now, are not adequate when it comes to prosecuting piracy crimes. Sections 193 and 194 of the Criminal Offences Act have a certain gaps in them. So the last time we apprehended some pirates, it became very difficult prosecuting them in the country because of the lacuna in the existing law.
Fisher folks in the Volta Regional Enclave can now heave a sign of relief, as the Maritime Authority says they have removed about 21,003 stumps on the Volta Lake, reducing the number of ferry accidents in the area.
Apart from the human element, i.e. incompetency, overloading and drunkenness of boat operators, The main causes of accidents on the Volta Lake include the absence of defined safe navigational channels. The authority has therefore embarked on the removal of submerged tree stumps that constitute hazards to navigation. So in all, about 21,000 tree stumps from various routes on the Volta Lake have been removed between the years 2018 and 2020.
Faustina Safo, for Joy News.
So let's seek some further explanation on security in our waters. Joining us via Zoom is Naval Captain Kofi Ankama, the Deputy Director, Ship Inspections and Maritime Security at the Ghana Martime Authority. Thank you, sir. We are grateful you could join us. There have been a number of reports on piracy attacks in the Gulf of Guinea in recent times. What is accounting for this?
Well, I hope you can hear me clear.
I can hear you, sir.
Thank you very much, sir. Thank you for giving me the opportunity. The piracy issues, as you just mentioned, is an issue, it's a worldwide issue, and it happens all over the world. But there are some areas of the world where they have been more frequent than others. So they take the front stage and people hear about them. And our area, that's the Gulf of Guinea, has become one of those areas where the piracy issues have come up very often. So it's not that it's something that has just come up, but it has always been there. And maybe now the dynamics have changed, so it has come so clear into the public view.
Okay, so what you're saying is that because of perhaps the media focus on some of these activities, that is why we're hearing a lot of reports about piracy, and the suggestion about the increase may not be accurate. Is that what you're saying?
Not exactly. The piracy, when we use the term piracy generally to include every act of violence or kidnapping that happens at sea. But as per the definition of piracy by the UNCLOS, that's the United Nations Convention on the Law of Sea, that kind of those activities have been divided into two. Those that happen beyond the jurisdiction or the territorial waters of any coastal state is what internationally defined as piracy. Those attacks against ships within territorial jurisdictions are termed as armed attack or attacks against ships. But for the purpose of this discussion and for the way it's been understood generally, we'll combine all of them as piracy. Okay. But technically, there are differences between what happens in the territorial waters and what happens beyond the territorial waters of Ghana.
Let's bring it home to understand what is happening in Ghana, in terms of specific attacks and activities, and where these pirates are coming from.
Yes. In fact, what I was telling you about the definitions and where it applies is going to lead me to this. This has been going on all the time. The media coverage maybe now accounts for its publicity to that extent. Because if you look at the statistics, these attacks used to be on oil tankers and other container vessels that don't attract so much attention. But quite recently, we have seen a lot of attacks within the Gulf of Guinea against fishing vessels. Not a lot, but because of the results of those attacks, the profile has been highlighted. For example, now, the modus operandi is for them to kidnap persons for ransom.
Okay.
And then when that happens, I think you agree with me. I mean, the whole world will hear people have been captured. But when a vessel has been cornered somewhere, and some oil has been siphoned from it, normally it doesn't attract that attention. I have some statistics that will let you have some idea as to the status of activities.
Okay, you can run them by us very briefly so that we can talk about what the GMA is doing to curb this.
Okay. Just to let you know, for example, in 2020, within the first quarter, as we have it, we had attacks of within the territorial waters, as I was mentioning, 43 attacks within the Gulf of Guinea, not in Ghana alone, as against 18 as at this same time this year. And then when you take the EEZ, that's outside the territorial waters, we had 25 last year as at this time. And then as at this time this year, we have 26, something like that. So that is it. Thank you.
So what is the GMA doing about this? I mean, how are you addressing the issue?
Well, GMA, as the coordinator of maritime issues in the maritime environment, we are in coordination or in consultation with other stakeholders like the Ghana Navy, the Ghana Marine Police, and other stakeholders to make sure that we are able to patrol our territorial waters, the harbor areas, and the rest. And then beyond that, yes, the Navy also is encouraged to, and giving the necessary encouragement to do what they are supposed to do. For example, some little statistics that I will also give you here, you realize that most of the attacks happened before 2020, that's before 2021, happened within the territorial waters and within the ports.
Okay.
But now we had just a few, for example, 47 against 25 at the same time. So Ghana Maritime Authority's acquisition of boats and then the upgrading of our maritime surveillance equipment, which we call the VTMIS, Vessel Monitoring Information System. We are able to really take charge of our territorial waters and ports in coordination with the other stakeholders, as I mentioned, Ghana Navy, the Ghana Ports and Harbors Authority, and the Marine Police.
Well, Captain, very briefly, we understand that you are seeking to amend the laws on piracy. Why is that? What are you seeking to address in this amendment?
Yes. We have provision for piracy in the Act 1960, that's Criminal Offences Act. 1960 at 29. There is a provision for piracy. And also in the UNCLOS, United Nations Convention on the Law of the Sea, we have a definition and provisions for piracy in there. This is the international standard. We've come to realize that in our Maritime Offences Act, which deals with piracy, we have some shortcomings in there that is not allowing us to be able to prosecute this piracy very, very well.
Okay.
So we are amending it so that it will be in consonance with the UNCLOS Section 101.
Very well.
Which makes provision for the offense.
And that will then give you the authority, the powers, to prosecute persons when arrested for piracy. Thank you very much. That's Naval Captain Ankama helping us understand some of the issues on our maritime, borders. Thank you very much. You're watching Johnny Sprang with me, and that's been it.